Is Jewish blogging over? That's the provocative headline on a post by Rabbi Gil Student on his blog here, Hurim.blogspot.com. And you know, it's one of the mainstays of Jewish blogging, Chaim Rubin, who's been blogging about Jewish music since 2003, recently threw in the towel. His farewell message, he explained his reason for retirement. The change in the world of blogs has forced him to abandon his style. Now has to restrain his opinions even when he expresses them respectfully, because his subjects will inevitably contact him to complain about some detail. Chaim Rubin writes, "It's not as easy to write openly and honestly what you feel about things anymore. Back in the glory days of blogging, people were so excited to see fresh and original, honest opinions they flocked to blogs, but today there are consequences for every word written. People will hound you and take you to task for your opinions." I don't think it's changed at all. I certainly experienced this when I started blogging back in 1997. The feedback and the vitriol that you will receive is in direct proportion to the importance of what you write. So if you're publishing stuff of importance that affects a lot of people's lives, then they have an incentive for making your life difficult if they don't like what you're doing. And so I was getting death threats back in 1997. And I found over the years people have become more and more afraid to fly off the handle. Nobody flies off the handle with me anymore. The last person who flew off the handle at me was Rabbi Y.Y. Rubenstein. And I just published his angry, incoherent, misspelled, badly punctuated emails on my blog, and he threatened to take me to a Beit Din, a Jewish law court, and I said, great, I won't go to the RCC, but I'll go to another Beit Din. I was all prepared for that, but then he realized what a difficult case that he'd have to try to make. I published someone else's comment that he was a convert to Judaism, and there are important halakhic distinctions for people who are converts to Judaism and for rabbis rather than people who are born Jewish. So I felt pretty solid about that. Now, I'm trying to think, other than that, people don't mess with me directly. What happens is that people look for your weak points. And if they find that you can be intimidated by threats, they'll use threats. If they find you don't like confrontation, they'll confront you. They'll go to your rabbi if you have a close relationship with a rabbi or a synagogue. If you have a wife and kids, they may threaten your wife and kids. They may threaten your source of income. And luckily for me in this respect, I'm not married, don't have kids, don't have one synagogue that I call home, don't have a super close relationship with any one rabbi so that I'll do whatever he says. Therefore, a lot of people would then pressure him. And this one Orthodox rabbi emails me, people don't mess with you because you fight back hard. Remember that Rabbi Y.Y. Rubenstein? He was a convert from a few months ago. He kept sending you threatening emails and you kept posting them to your blog, making him look increasingly foolish the more he threatened you. That only works if you're willing to alienate the people who are complaining. If you aren't, you have to balance their concerns with your own prerogative to blog honestly. So there's a tremendous price to be paid for blogging honestly and openly. You get held accountable for your words, and people will try to take you down if you're bothering them. So it's a battle.